In a year without very many wins, it has been rare that the Jazz were this feckless. Not a good one tonight for Utah. We're breaking it down next on POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Evidently, a 9-game homestand is too long. The Jazz were not very good tonight. It is the least good they have looked in a while. There have been some nights where the Jazz got outplayed by the Thunder and the Lakers, and those teams are superior and have MVP candidates. Tonight, the Jazz were down 36-22 at the end of one, and that was the highlight of the night. It got by 20 by the end of half, 21 by the end of third, and it finished at 28, was up in the 30s for a little while. They just never got a rhythm, never got going, just kind of almost seemed worn out and just dead. In tonight's performance, they were not sharp. The turnovers were at an abundance. It was just a tough night. It's interesting to me, Ron. All of us are kind of, I don't want to speak for Thurl and Craig, but all of us kind of on the road, just like, whoa. It's interesting on a year in which you're 15-46. This felt strange. Like, to me, that's a little bit of a tribute to me to like what Will Hardy and the guys have done this year. Is that you're outmanned, you're in a year of development. Those are the areas of focus, and yet, despite the fact you've now just lost your 46th game, there have been some bad ones. That's not to say there have, but this one felt like one of the really bad ones and seemed unusual.
It seems so unusual, David, mainly because of the energy level out there on the floor. And usually at home, the effort seems better, it seems more livelier, But the Jazz seem to have gotten worse from last night. You know, they turned the basketball over. And for the most part, that's not good. And I totally agree with you. A 9-game homestand is just way too many.
Might have been.
Especially when you're a team that's struggling and trying to find your way.
There's a natural cadence and rhythm to getting on planes and going to games and kind of doing all those things we're used to. We get back to doing it here. Yeah. It's interesting also because in the pregame press conference, Sarah Todd of the Deseret News asked Will Hardy about the crowd and how great the fans have been. And Will, on first level, is just like, okay, the fans are amazing. And he's like, I hope it's a tribute to how hard our guys have played. That even though we're in a development, the fans are smart. They understand what's going on. We've played so hard. We play hard. Our guys put out an effort that fans are easy to adapt to and grab onto. This would not have been one of those nights, if we're being honest about it. For a long period in the third quarter, the Jazz had as many turnovers as they had field goals.
Yeah, this is an effort tonight that you get every now and then if you're a middle of the road team, you know. But when you're a team like the Jazz that are struggling and you have a ball game like this, like they had tonight, you know, it hurts for the most part. But I totally agree with Will. The fans have been very, very supportive. And, you know, sometimes before the ball game starts, 20, 30 minutes before the ball game starts, I'm looking around in the stands and thinking, oh boy, we're going to have a small crowd tonight. Then by tip-off time, they're in their seats.
They're always there. It's great. All right. The chat room is buzzing and chatting about the possibilities of Kyle Filipowski. And I think it's a good discussion because you're going to have to make a decision tonight, Ron, on reliability squares. And I think I don't know what you decided. You were debating on Kyle Filipowski. So, Ron, why on a night where he has his career-high 25 points and he has 8 rebounds, were you debating whether he got a reliability plus?
Well, because just because you score a lot of points, that doesn't mean you made a huge impact on the game. And I'm really worried about his defense, his physicality. From now on, I'm going to be watching how he reads the defense. Offense has really picked up. I mean, he's getting to the point where he's very reliable shooting the three. Even around the basket, he's made some tough shots and everything around the basket with guys hanging on him, hang all over him. But you got to start reading, watching his defense and see if he's reading the defense and you know what to do out there more carefully. But he has to improve his defense if he's going to be a player in this league. You know, 32nd pick in the draft. How good do you want him to be? You want him to be the best he can get. I mean, the best he can. You know,
his offensive skills. Sorry to interrupt you, but his offensive skills are really developing.
Yeah.
Right? The above the break three, to be a 7-footer that can hit above the break three is an incredible skill. We've seen his passing, his understanding of the game. Like, he has got a skill set that is awesome.
Yes.
But, like, there's 2 plays in the last 2 nights that just can't, they're hard. Like, Naz Reid catches at the elbow, spins on him, and dunks, and they're 2 steps. And then Jalen Duren did it tonight. They're 2 steps by him before he moves.
Yeah. He's got to learn one thing. If he's going to play someone with their back to the basket, it's what forearm do you have in the back of a player? And I'm giving the perfect example of a player that made a living on guys having the wrong forearm in the back, and that's James Worthy.
Oh, James, I thought you were going number 4.
No, I'm Adrian Dantley.
Yeah,
I'm going James Worthy. You ever notice he would catch the basketball on the post and he would do this? I know you can't see this.
No,
and he would look over one shoulder to see what forearm you had in your back. If I got my right forearm in the back of your back here, where's my leverage?
The other side.
This way.
Yeah.
That's your leverage. And so you can roll off of this one. He's got to learn that.
All right, more about Kyle and some of the other players tonight. Tonight's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at FanDuel, the official sports book of Locked On. FanDuel brings you all the in-game live action you want. You can get with FanDuel each and every night. Be a part of it. FanDuel, great fun for you. Get involved with the game tips off. NBA action is just getting started. There's no place better than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. You missed the opening tip, want to bet a fourth quarter comeback? Stay in the action all game long. FanDuel's live betting feature keeps it every moment of the game exciting, backing your team, late game rally, picking a player to hit a clutch 3. Never miss the chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your one shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Today's show is also brought to you by DoorDash. Did anybody go for 50 tonight in the NBA? I don't know because I haven't checked. But if they did, then it's the NBA fans. Get ready because when they swoosh, you save. Thanks to Dash Pass, every time a player drops 50 or more in a game, you score a huge deal the next day. It's simple. When a player scores 50 or more in a game during the 24-25 regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order, up to $10 off the next day from noon to midnight. Whether it's a game day feast, late night cravings, lunch on the go, whatever you want to fuel your watch party, do it with DoorDash. Sign up for Dash Pass and get ready to save. When any player scores 50 or more in a game, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order the next day, up to $10. Just use the promo code NBA50 from noon to midnight after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. DoorDash and Dash Pass members.
So what is the TT? What was that?
I don't know.
CTA?
Oh, call to action.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's
okay.
in the business term.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What position does Kyle Filipowski play defensively?
That is a very good question. That is a very good question. And I know we've been watching him all season long. We watched his progress. We know he can pass the basketball, which means you can use him in a couple of different positions. I think high post. Can he post up? Don't know. How crafty can he be off the dribble? Not really sure of that. So right now, would you say he's positionless?
Well, I want to know where he can defend.
And he can't defend smalls. He's got to try to defend someone.
I don't know if I'm worried about that.
If he's strong enough to defend anyone.
Because tonight was another night, and Walker's as much a part of this also. Like I'm sure Will's going to talk about this tonight. They finished 14 of 16 at the rim and 19 of 26 in the paint non-restricted for a total of 33 of 42 in the paint.
And Will talked about this. It's not all about blocking shots. It's about, reading the defense and making the right decisions.
I mean, it
wasn't there tonight, and I can't really say that the Detroit Pistons had a better game, had a game plan that just dominated the Jazz. I thought the Jazz beat themselves.
Yeah, they just threw it all over the Jazz.
Right.
Early, too. Like, it was clear
very
early. It was just like, Yeah, almost. I mean, kind of almost is like they're in a weird rhythm of just coming home every night. It's gonna be interesting. The other night we played Guess the Will Hardy press conference and we missed.
Yes.
I was stunned when I got home and got the Will Hardy press conference. That was not what I expected. I don't know what the Will Hardy press conference is tonight. I mean, you can't go back to the same card he played the other night, other than just to say our guys have got to dig in a little more intensity and handle the ball. Now, Detroit's the number one defense in the NBA over the last 10 games, so they're clearly good. And the Jazz really got derailed offensively tonight.
So he could go to the point where, okay, the Jazz just really learned a lesson tonight.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. But could it be one of those nights where Will just dreads? And it's probably a lot of those.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Will Hardy, I don't want to go to the I don't want to do the media tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're supposed to say.
Can you send an assistant coach out?
Well, George Karl used to do it all the time. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily make your staff very happy with you.
Yeah.
All right, reliability pluses tonight.
I'm going to pick two, and if you want to pick Kyle, then. But I got Kessler and Collin Sexton. Kyle
had a career high.
Yeah.
He was also minus 11, but Kessler was minus 22. So
Yes. Let's give Kyle one. Let's give him
8
one.
rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really, you know what? Let's give Kyle one for this. The effort he's put in to improve his 3-point shooting is really awesome. Like the work he's put in to improve that above the break 3-point shooting makes him a really viable offensive player right now.
Did not start tonight, but he was still 4 for 7 from the 3-point
Yeah,
line.
no, that's great.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. All right, 3 reliability pluses: Kessler, Sexton, and Kyle Filipowski. All right.
Yeah.
Locked on Jazz coming for you tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Have a great night. Be safe.